Hi everyone, this is Dr. Leslie Ann Williams, broadcasting live from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. I am a board certified internist, trained as an internist and a pediatrician, and I love helping my patients and others live their best lives now. This week and this month has been a little difficult in so much as one of the things that's inevitable is death. There are two things that are sure in life: birth and death. And I think often we don't really prepare well enough for dying. And we may also, as physicians, not prepare our patients well enough for dying. So I've lost a patient this week, and had another one who had a bad outcome on something else. And as much as we try as physicians to help divert disaster, life happens, death happens, and sometimes there's nothing that we can do about that. And so how do I cope, or how do I deal with patients who are who have died, and how do I even address the whole situation? One is I'm really open with my patients when they are alive about death, especially if I know that they have a diagnosis that will lead to perhaps a premature death. I have those conversations early on with them and their family. I try to be very open and upfront about the prognosis, if I can even talk about prognosis. But I try my best to prepare them for what may happen with death. And when a patient is going to be in a situation where they're actively dying, I do go through the stages of dying and the stages of death with them, because I think that's important. Sometimes what we don't know, what remains a mystery, can sometimes be scary. And once I can break it down to them, I feel like there's a lot more peace in the situation. I'm very open with my feelings with regards to death and dying. And I don't shy away from my own emotions, especially when you have gotten to know a patient and have gotten to be close to them, and you do really love and care for them. It's hard to be detached. And I know that in a lot of our training, we are not really taught how to really approach the subject of death and dying. So this week, it just came on, and I had a situation where a patient died, and I was so heartbroken, like really heartbroken, because patients come with their personalities and they bring joy. Sometimes they frustrate you. Sometimes you get frustrated if they're not doing the right thing or they're not following instructions. But ultimately, you want the best for them. I want my patients to thrive. I want them to live their best lives now. I want them to be healthy and whole in every aspect, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I want that for them. And so I sat in the airport after getting this news, and I started to cry because it just hit me. And one of the things that we have to understand is that doctors are humans. Yes, we wear this white coat, but most times I don't wear this white coat. Most of the times I'm just Leslie, Dr. Leslie Tassam, and I try to not detach myself from the humanity of medicine. I learned as a medical student very early on that the moment you stop caring is the moment you need to get out of the field. If you are in the field, whatever field, medicine, law, finance, the moment you stop caring about your clients or your patients is the moment where you need to do some self-eval and perhaps take a break. So I cried. I cried. I tried to disguise it as, oh, this makeup is just, you know. And I wrote about it, and that helps me to unload. I pray is one thing that I can't do without is praying. So I prayed and just prayed for the family, prayed for his loved ones and friends, and just really asked God to help me to process that pain in a healthy manner so that I can help the next patient, because I need to stay healthy, not just physically, but I need to be a healthy doctor emotionally. I need to be a healthy doctor spiritually in order to bring healing and health to my patients in all of these aspects. Because I'm not just writing prescriptions. I'm not just giving out medications. I am healing your soul, your mind, emotions, that kind of thing, right? So, and I'm still processing, this patient's death, but it was very humbling, and it's always an honor to be a part of anybody's life, even when ushering them to the other side, if you will. This was something that I truly enjoyed, and I say that with all due respect, as a student, as an attending, as a hospitalist, and now as a primary care physician. It was always an honor to be there when someone was transitioning. It's a most beautiful thing, and I think we are so afraid of death that we don't even sometimes want to have that conversation. But I want to encourage you to have that conversation with your doctor. Talk about death. Talk about a living will. Talk about your code status, whether you want to be a do not resuscitate or you want to be a full code, which is you want to be totally resuscitated. But have those hard conversations, and those hard conversations become easier when you realize that, it demystifies this whole death and dying, So it was a bit of a tough weekend, but it's going to be beautiful in the end. My patient left me with some really awesome memories. We laughed a lot during our appointments, but that's par for the course, right? Because I'm Dr. Sunshine. So we're going to laugh a lot about just random stuff too. And so we laughed a lot. I fussed a lot at my patient. And it was truly an honor to care for this person. I want my fellow doctors, and if any of them look at this broadcast, to be comfortable and examine our own ideas and our own relationship with death and dying. Because in order to fully provide care for our patients, we have to talk about it. We can't avoid those topics, especially if we are in the hospital systems. We need to have this conversation about death and dying. What do you want if something were to happen to you and you were incapacitated and you couldn't make decisions on your own? Who is the person making those decisions for you? Do you want to be placed on a ventilator, breathing machine, in other words? Do you want CPR? Do you want any of that? What do you want to happen with your organs? Do you want to donate your body to medical research? Do you want to donate your organs to, whatever organ donation program there is? Let's plan ahead in that respect. We have baby showers and we welcome life, but let's also embrace the fact that death happens, and we should never be caught off guard in so much as not being prepared for how we want things to roll out. I mean, you can only control so much, right? But you can So my broadcast is being affected by weak signals because it's now raining in St. Thomas. It's raining cats and dogs. So I have to come out into the lobby area and yes, it's raining outside. But yes, I just wanted to just jump on here real quick and share with you some of what I am experiencing right now as I grieve the loss of a wonderful soul, a wonderful patient. And I'm sure that, you know, this is not my first patient to die, and this is not going to be my last patient that will die. And it's not going to be the first time that I grieve, and it won't be the last time. But the key is to do it in a whole, healthy fashion, and also to be mindful to always encourage patients to ask questions that are mystifying to them. And, oh yeah, it's raining outside. Ask questions that are mystifying to them. And as healthcare providers, to demystify this whole process, if you will. So I decided in this process of grieving that I was going to say no to something. So I stopped, you know, for a minute just to pour into myself, to give to myself as I thought about, you know, and sometimes you as a doctor, you think, well, was there something more I could have done? What more could I have given to the patient, you know, that kind of thing. And ultimately, you know, God is in control. God is in control. And it's always a reminder that today is all that we have. Right now, this moment is what I have. I'm living in this moment. And to continue to live in the moment, continue to love strong, and to live, you know, live with purpose, live with intent, live with intention. Don't be afraid of the inevitable. Don't be afraid of death. Don't worry, really. Just live your full lives now, and do life. Do it. Do your life. Live your life now, because tomorrow is not promised. You know, I've learned that lesson, and hopefully can pass that lesson on to others, that today is today, and this moment is this moment. This moment is never going to come again, and to live your fullest life now in this moment. And that's all I have to say today. I hope you have a wonderful week. It's Tuesday. We are in hurricane season in St. Thomas. I can show you, let me see if I can show you, well, it's kind of rainy outside. It's rainy, can't really see. There's the mountain. So anyhow, bless you all. Have a wonderful day. It's Dr. Leslie Ann signing off. You can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Leslie Ann MD. And it's the same handle for Twitter, Dr. Leslie Ann MD, and without the E. Okay? God bless you. Bye-bye.